새롭게를 선도하는 국내외 유망 기업과 인물을 만나보는 프론티어 인터뷰 시간입니다. 오늘은 새로운 암호화폐 은행을 목표로 하고 있는 베이직의 스벤 몰러 CEO 모시고 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yes, nice to meet you. And could you introduce yourself to our viewers, please?
Yes, so my name is Sven Moeller. I'm the CEO of Basic. So I'm happy to be in Korea. A brief introduction from my side. So I worked for Ernst & Young in the management consulting. Here's where I started my blockchain career, also focused on the financial sector. Afterwards, I co-founded Swisscom Blockchain, the blockchain subsidiary of the Swiss National Telecom. And now I came to Korea to start this wonderful venture called The Basic.
Oh, thank you. Then now I'd like to start talking about your project. What is Basic and what's Basic all about?
So Basic strives to be the future of banking, right? So we want to take the age of digital assets,
Yes.
assets based on blockchain, on distributed ledger technology, and build the financial layer on top of that, right? Rebuild the financial layer on top of that.
Future banking it is Basic. And how did Project Basic first take off? And can you tell us about the past and current processes of Basic and what problem Basic want to solve then?
So maybe I start with the problem, right? So in my long career as a consultant, focused on blockchain, I advised many blockchain companies and banks who are dealing with crypto assets. And there's one big problem. So the crypto industry is heavily underbanked. For example, if you're a mining company, your asset with which you deal is Bitcoin, for example, right? But you need to pay your salaries in fiat, right? So, but it's difficult, you know, if you mine in Bitcoin, then you need to broker the Bitcoin, you need to hedge the Bitcoin, then you need to pay out the fiat to your employees. So it's a very complicated process, right? So you cannot take any loan where you take your crypto assets or digital assets as a collateral, right?
Yes.
And so so the basic banking infrastructure is missing, right? And we want to build this.
Okay, there is a lack of clear criteria in crypto market, and in this situation, is there any reason that you are targeting crypto market?
Yes. So we think that the technology blockchain is the way to digitalize assets in the future, right?
Yes.
And cryptocurrency are the first kind of this new digital asset, right? And this makes dealing with assets, right, and with money more cheap, more efficient, more transparent, right? So we think this is the future. So that's why we also, if you want to refactor the banking industry, right, we need to do it based on this new asset class.
Okay. Then what's the format of Basic? Could you tell us about some of the features of Basic?
So we are currently in the process of setting up the whole legal structure. Of course, there's a lot of compliance and regulations we need to figure out. But we will start with some products, right? The first product is that we're offering interest accounts. So you give us your cryptocurrency, and we keep them safe in a custody solution where we work with enterprise clients and also with banks. And you get interest on that, right? So which was not possible before. The second product we're going to offer is that we're giving you loans based on your crypto collateral. This means you have, for example, 10 Bitcoins, but you want to buy a car, right? And you don't want to sell the Bitcoins because maybe you think the price will increase over the future. So you give us the Bitcoins, we keep them safe, we take them as a collateral, and then we're paying you out stable coins with which you then can pay the car, for example.
Okay, I see. Then which services that Basic is giving?
Can you repeat the question?
Which services that Basic is giving to the real users?
So first of all, we put like the experts of the industry together, right? So we have like a lot of expertise in terms of the risk model, the technology, how we're keeping the crypto assets safe, right? So just from that perspective, we are very good addressed to give us your assets, and we make sure that they're not getting stolen or something like that. But on top of that, we're offering you financial services. So this means if you need money, right, we can help you out with a loan, right? If you want to make money based on your assets, right, we're offering you banking services on top of that.
Okay, regarding then, what is the currency in which a real user can use, and will the currency be converted to the currency of each country that the customer will use?
So we will, because of regulation and compliance, we will start purely with digital assets. So this means stable coins and the top cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and so on. At one point, of course, we will deal with fiat currency, so real money like euro, US dollar, whatever,
Yes.
to loan out. But therefore, we need to apply for different licenses, such as banking license in different jurisdictions. And only then we can do it, right? But with the way we set it up, it's actually quite simple, right? So maybe you have to go through one intermediary, but you can get like fiat currency directly in the local currency you deal with, right?
Okay, that is amazing. Then cryptocurrencies volatility can be an advantage or disadvantage. How did you respond to this then?
I mean, for us as a company who needs to manage the risk for the clients of the
Yes.
volatility, right?
Yes, it is.
So you give us a volatile asset such as Bitcoin, and we give you a stable asset, right? For us, it's very important to manage it. So we developed with our chief risk officer, which is a famous professor in a Korean university, mathematical models, which we took from the banking industry and applied on crypto. So you need to change, of course, these models because like the assets have like different underlyings, different volatility than real assets, right? And based on that, we built risk models which give us the right advice how to deal with that kind of problem. On top of that, we built automated technologies, right? So the advantage of crypto trading is that you can 24 hours, 7 days, you can trade and liquidize your asset at any time, right? So if there's a problem with the collateral, so the price goes down of Bitcoin, right? So we do partly sell to of the collateral to stack it up to secure the loan, right?
Yes.
Or we give you a notice that you need to stack it up, right? So with this loan manager or risk manager and automated process, we are pretty safe in dealing with the volatility, right, for our clients.
Okay. If so, how does the volatility of cryptocurrency apply to real customer? Is there any example?
Yes, I mean, it's like in a lot of industries, right? In like if you have like a real mine,
Yes.
sometimes iron or other metals, they're also very volatile, right? Also in farming, right? So you need to secure against this volatility because you need to plan your operations for the next 1-2 years. Same as with a lot of crypto companies, such as exchanges, right, or mining companies. So, for example, if you need to pay out salaries or you need to buy new hardware, right, but you think you're in a situation where the price is very bad and because of volatility, it will change in the near future, right? But you're kind of forced to get liquidity, then you have a big issue, right? And exactly this issue we want to solve.
Okay. Then what are the cryptocurrencies that Basic handles, such as any altcoins?
So, of course, at the beginning, we'll focus on the main cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, like everything what is like in the top 10, top 20, right? There's like some technical things we need to figure out about like some special currencies like IOTA, right? In general, we can deal, so our system can deal with any cryptocurrency as long as there is volume, right? So as we bring like banking to the digital asset world, right? Of course, we will build new methodologies that we also can deal with less volatile collaterals, right? But for the beginning, we deal with the major cryptocurrencies.
Okay. Then how can users with other coins use Basic? Do you exchange your own coins inside Basic, or do we have to purchase and use other cryptocurrencies separately?
So we're using our own token in a model which is kind of proven in the crypto market. So you can use our token to stack up your collateral, right? You're getting benefits from that. You can choose to get your interest in our token, and then you're getting a premium on top of that, right? But also you can pay back the loan in our token, right? So we're trying to incentivize our users to use our token. And with that, we create new tools and mechanisms to steer our financial products, right?
Okay, that is amazing. There are projects that use cryptocurrencies as an asset. How do you compete in the same market? Is there any strategies?
So, of course, so we have like competitors, but I would say our main advantage is that we are really professionals, right? So, like I mean, I'm working in blockchain industry for a couple of years already, but I always worked with corporate clients, right? So I advised banks, family offices, enterprises. I was building up the blockchain subsidiary of a national telecom company, right? I was working for a big audit company. So it's kind of a shift, right? So not like, I don't know, some crypto kitties are taking over the market, right? So it's like really professionals who know what they're doing, right? They know the technology very deeply as well, right? And they're trying to apply the methodologies and the know-how they learned in the last couple of years to solve the problems the industry has now, right? So that's our main advantage, right? Where we're also very strong is dealing with compliance and dealing with the regulator, right? Through my role as a consultant and advisor of many of these projects and institutions, we learned a lot, even cross-jurisdictional, right? And I think that crypto loans will be a big business in the future, and a lot of companies will pop up and make money. But I think we are one of the ones which will be sustainable and will also survive any regulatory-driven clean-out.
Oh, okay. And if you have any, is there any know-how that you have? Can you tell us to the Korean viewers?
So my special know-how, I would say, is how to deal and be compliant with anti-money laundering law for cryptocurrencies and digital assets, right? Because there are not many people who really deal with that on an enterprise level. There are some like who work for exchanges, some who apply tools at the banking sector, right? But I designed processes which even like impressed regulators, right? So which set it a standard in the industry, right? And this is a huge advantage for us, right? Because we can not only deal with the retail market, we can also partner with banks and family offices and taking from them the risk of having crypto exposure from a regulatory side, but also kind of providing like the upside of it, right?
Yes, that is amazing. And traditional banks have criteria to judge the soundness, such as capital education ratio or something. And however, the history of Basic compared to other banks is quite short.
Yeah.
Short history, right?
That's, yep.
And I think you have some know-how. And how are you planning to make assets then?
So that's a really good question, right? So because you found out that the model is quite similar to a bank, which it is, right? And of course, we have like regulations for banks, right? Especially like Basel III and you know, all the AML, FATCA, and so on, to keep the investors and the clients safe, right? So even though for certain kind of business we don't need a banking license now, right? We first of all we apply all these rules voluntary to our business, right? Second of all, we will not rely only at us as a startup, right? We will separate the LP fund, right? So the loan fund from our core business so that the client money is protected. And also we will deal with major companies such for custody and so on, so that we are like not all risk is on us, right? So we're really doing our best to make it safe. And then at one point, of course, we're going for a banking license.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then I'd like to listen to the business model of Basic.
Of course, the business model is like also like as a bank, right? That we have like a spread between the money we're taking in and we loan out, right?
Yes.
We will build in the future new financial products where we also have a margin. And this margin is actually our, our business model, right? So we derive our revenues out of the financial products we apply to the crypto market.
Okay. Then how's the basics token economy built? If you have any details?
Yes, of course. So, as I mentioned, right, you can use the basic token to stack up your collateral, right? So this will give you benefits in terms of the interest you have to pay, also like the size of the collateral you need to give. Also, you have the choice, if you have an interest account, we can pay you interest out or partly out in basic tokens,
yes.
right? So if you do this, if you choose that, you're getting more interest. You can also pay back the loan then later in basic token, right? So this is also incentivized, right? So the token economic model is built around our financial products. So you don't need to use the token to use our products,
yes.
but it's incentivizing it, right? So if you using our token, you have certain advantages, right? And with that, we have like some mechanic in the background where from which we benefit as an institution, right? Because we want to make our token also liquid, and with that we have then a better way to do trading of our collaterals and things like that, right? So reducing actually the risk, right? And at the same time, we give our users more benefits, right?
Okay, now let's move on to the next question. I'd like to listen to your future plan, and what can we expect from Basic then?
So that's also a very good question. So the future plan.
Yes.
So let's a little bit where we're coming from. So I'm based in Switzerland, but I am now in Korea, and most of the team members are in Korea. Even though we have advisors all over the world, we are hiring also some people in Switzerland as well, right? We kind of bringing together East and West, but not the US and Asia. We're bringing together Europe and Asia, and this can be a very, very powerful connection, right? So, and if we achieve to build the layer, financial service layer for the crypto industry, and combine it with like the advantages of the East and the advantages of the West, right?
Yes.
This can be very, very powerful, right? And I'm quite looking forward for the future.
Okay. Then what about the partnerships?
So we have a lot of partnerships, which we will announce soon. But what I can tell is that we have like several partnerships with exchanges where we're partnering on the product side. We have, of course, one or the other law firm who's consulting us about compliance and regulation. But also we signed up already several MOUs with family offices, brokers and asset managers, so that they're going to use our services. And now we are in the process of around setting up 5 letter of intents with mining companies.
Okay. Then what's the shape of blockchain ecosystem you want to achieve with Basic?
So blockchain is digitalizing assets, right?
Yes.
So it's also called tokenization, right? So based on blockchain technology, you can tokenize different assets, and this brings certain advantages. And the main advantage is that it's liquid, right? You can trade it, but it doesn't have liquidity. So with Basic, we can collateralize these assets and bring to liquid assets liquidity, right? This is our #1 goal, right? So we want to bring additional liquidity in the market, right? And with that, we want to help to make the market more mature, right? And build a new, fair, more transparent layer of infrastructure in the banking industry.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, let's close the interview. Thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay. 네, 지금까지 베이직의 스벤 몰러 CEO와 함께했습니다. 오늘 나와주셔서 고맙습니다. Thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.